Golden Dog adopts abandoned kittens. City is astonished when they learn her heartwarming secret. In the heart of a bustling, indifferent city, a golden-furred dog named Charlie discovers a secret that will change everything. One stormy night, amidst rain and chaos, she finds a box of abandoned kittens with no one to care for them. Driven by an unexpected, fierce maternal instinct, Charlie defies the harsh rules of urban life and risks it all to become their guardian. What happens when a simple act of love sparks a movement of compassion in a concrete jungle? Stay tuned to uncover the heartwarming, mysterious journey of Charlie, the mother of the forgotten. The city of Silverbrook was not always kind. Tall glass buildings and neon lights masked the struggles of many, and beneath the constant hum of traffic, there were countless small hearts longing for care. In one modest apartment high above a busy street, Anna and her loyal companion, a golden-furred dog named Charlie, lived. Though Silverbrook buzzed with endless activity, Charlie felt a gentle stirring inside her, a desire to care for those who had been left behind. Anna worked long hours at the local animal rescue center. Every morning, she kissed Charlie goodbye, promising to return with stories of hope. But when the door closed behind her, the city's lonely echoes filled the apartment, and Charlie would sit by the window, listening to the distant sounds of lives unfolding without her. Deep down, she wondered if there was a way to ease the loneliness of the forgotten souls outside. Before we continue, please like and subscribe if you love emotional and dramatic stories. One stormy evening, as dark clouds smothered the city and rain battered the pavement, Anna and Charlie strolled home from the park. The wind carried not only the scent of wet concrete but also a sound, a soft, desperate cry that seemed lost amid the clamor of the rain. Charlie's ears pricked up, and she halted in her tracks. The cry was faint, almost hidden by the downpour, yet it resonated in her heart. Anna, drenched yet determined, felt a tug in her own heart as she followed Charlie into a narrow, shadowed alley. The alley was lined with puddles and discarded papers, a forgotten corner in a city that never stopped moving. There, tucked behind a battered cardboard box, lay 3 tiny kittens. They huddled together, shivering in the cold, their eyes wide with fear and despair. For a moment, time seemed to slow. Anna knelt beside them, her hands trembling as she reached out gently. "Who could have left you here?" she whispered, her voice thick with sorrow and tenderness. But as she looked into the eyes of those fragile creatures, she sensed something deeper, a silent plea for love, for a second chance. Charlie, ever watchful, stepped forward. In a gesture both instinctive and profound, she lowered her head and, with surprising delicacy, picked up one of the kittens in her mouth. It was as if Charlie had always known that the tiny lives before her deserved a chance to feel safe and cherished. In that moment, a new purpose was born. Back in the small apartment, Anna wrapped the kittens in warm towels and placed them near the heater. She prepared a small dish of milk and watched as each kitten took hesitant sips. Meanwhile, Charlie did not retreat to her usual spot. Instead, she lay close to the kittens, her body a living shield against the chill. With gentle licks and quiet nudges, she soothed their fears as though she were their own mother. Anna sat quietly, marveling at the transformation unfolding before her eyes. "Charlie," she murmured, "you are their guardian now." The word mother floated unspoken in the air, a feeling more powerful than any words. Though Charlie could not understand human language, her actions conveyed an unwavering message of care and protection. In the soft glow of the night lamp, the kittens slowly began to trust their new guardian. Their timid mews turned into soft purrs, and for a while, the small apartment felt like a haven from the harshness of the outside world. But with every comfort came a worry. The secret of these new lives was fragile, and the city was full of challenges. Silverbrook was a city of strict rules. In Anna's apartment building, only one pet was allowed per unit. The discovery of extra animals could mean eviction, a fate that would break both Anna's and Charlie's hearts. Yet, despite the looming threat, Anna could not bear to separate the kittens from the dog who had nurtured them with such fierce love. Every day, Anna tried to balance her responsibilities at the rescue center with her growing commitment to this unexpected family. She fed the kittens quietly, changed their tiny bedding, and sought discreet help from trusted friends. However, the city has a way of testing those who dare to show kindness. One crisp morning, as Charlie played gently with the kittens, a stray meow, louder than the others, echoed down the corridor. In that instant, Mrs. Parker, a nosy neighbor known for her strict adherence to rules, appeared at the doorway. Anna's heart pounded as she quickly shut the door, but the damage was done. A warning notice soon followed: no extra pets allowed. Remove them immediately. That note felt like a heavy weight on Anna's soul. She paced the small living room, her mind torn between the practical demands of the building and the moral imperative to protect the innocent lives in her care. With each passing moment, she realized that sometimes, following your heart means standing against the tide, even in a city that values order over empathy. That same night, as Anna left for her night shift at the rescue center, Charlie sensed that the danger was not confined to within the apartment walls. She slipped out through a small open window on the balcony, a secret route she had discovered during long, lonely walks. The city at night was a tapestry of flickering streetlights, quiet corners, and hidden dangers. With determined steps, Charlie trotted down rain-slicked sidewalks and through quiet alleys. Her nose twitched as she picked up a scent, a mix of fear and something darker. Following this new trail, she soon encountered a scene that chilled her heart. In a poorly lit alley, a man in a dark coat was gathering stray kittens, stuffing them into a netted bag with rough hands and a cold gaze. Charlie's body tensed. She recognized the threat immediately. This was no ordinary man. He was known in whispered conversations as an animal trafficker, a heartless person who exploited the vulnerable for profit. Every instinct screamed at Charlie to protect the tiny lives that had become her own. Without hesitation, Charlie barked, a sound that broke through the night's stillness. "Leave them alone." Her barks were not only loud but filled with the fierce determination of a mother protecting her children. The man paused, startled by the unexpected defiance of this golden guardian. His eyes narrowed as he glared at Charlie. "What do you want, mutt?" he spat, reaching for her. But Charlie did not back down. She lunged at him, teeth bared and eyes blazing with protective fury. The struggle was brief but intense. In the confusion, the bag tore, and several kittens tumbled out onto the cold pavement. Their high-pitched cries mingled with Charlie's relentless barks. Neighbors, roused by the commotion, emerged from shadowed doorways and darkened windows. A kind homeless man, known for his gentle nature and willingness to share what little he had, rushed into the fray. "Hey! Stop right there!" he shouted, coming to Charlie's aid. The trafficker, realizing he was now outnumbered and exposed, cursed and fled into the night. In the aftermath, the homeless man carefully scooped up the trembling kittens, speaking softly to calm them. "You're safe now," he murmured, his voice gentle and warm. Charlie's heart pounded as she watched over them. Every fiber of her being radiated relief and hope. The night air, still heavy with rain, seemed to hold a promise that even in a cold, unfeeling city, acts of compassion could shine like beacons in the dark. News of Charlie's brave rescue spread quickly through the tight-knit corners of Silverbrook. People who had long ignored the plight of stray animals began to see them in a new light. The story of the golden dog who risked everything to save vulnerable kittens touched hearts across the city. Even Mrs. Parker, the very neighbor who had once issued the harsh notice, found herself softened by the tales of bravery and love. Anna, too, felt a stirring of hope. With the support of local animal lovers and community advocates, she managed to secure a safe space for the kittens at the rescue center, a small, cozy room filled with blankets, toys, and gentle care. In that space, the rescued kittens began to heal, their fragile spirits slowly mending under the tender watch of both human and canine caregivers. Yet, not every kitten found a new home immediately. The smallest one, a delicate gray tabby named Luna, seemed to hold an unspoken bond with Charlie. No matter how many kittens were adopted by loving families, Luna returned to the apartment every evening, curling up beside Charlie as if to say, "I choose you. Now and always." And Charlie, with eyes full of quiet understanding, welcomed Luna back every time. As days turned into weeks, the bustling life of Silverbrook continued unabated outside the little apartment. Yet inside, a microcosm of hope and transformation had taken root. Anna often sat by the window in the evenings, watching the city lights flicker against the dark sky, and marveled at how one act of kindness had started a quiet revolution. Charlie, once a simple companion, had grown into a symbol of unconditional love, a living reminder that compassion knows no boundaries. In her gentle eyes, there was wisdom beyond words, a silent call for others to see beyond the rules and the routine. The city, with all its chaos and noise, had its forgotten souls, but through Charlie's actions, even the smallest lives began to find meaning. In conversations with neighbors, Anna explained how the kittens were survivors, each with a story of loss and hope. They were abandoned by circumstance, she would say softly, but now they have been given a chance at life. And slowly, hearts opened. People donated blankets, food, and even time to care for the strays. The once indifference of Silverbrook started to change into a community united by empathy. Every night, as Charlie lay curled next to Luna and the other kittens, she dreamed of a better world, a world where every stray animal would be cared for, where the harsh edges of city life could be softened by the warmth of kindness. Though she could not speak, her actions spoke volumes, a testament to the resilience of the heart and the power of love. One chilly morning, as the first rays of sun illuminated the busy streets of Silverbrook, Anna received a phone call that would change everything. The local council, moved by the outpouring of community support and inspired by the story of the brave dog and the rescued kittens, announced plans to create a new animal sanctuary in the heart of the city. This sanctuary would offer shelter, medical care, and a second chance for all the forgotten creatures who roamed the urban jungle. The announcement brought tears to many eyes. In that moment, Anna felt that the city, too, had learned to care. Charlie's quiet heroism had sparked a movement, one that bridged the gap between the hardened routines of urban life and the tender needs of its most vulnerable inhabitants. In the weeks that followed, the sanctuary became a beacon of hope. Volunteers from all walks of life came together to build a safe haven, and even the stern landlord of Anna's apartment offered his support, recognizing that sometimes, the rules must bend to embrace true compassion. Years passed, and Silverbrook continued its fast pace. Yet now, in the midst of towering buildings and hurried footsteps, there was a special place, a sanctuary where animals found refuge, where every creature was given a chance to heal. At the heart of that sanctuary was a small statue of a golden dog, ears perked in a vigilant, loving stance. The plaque beneath read, "In memory of Charlie, the mother of the forgotten, whose heart taught us that love knows no boundaries." Anna often visited the sanctuary, remembering the night of the storm, the fragile cries of the abandoned, and the brave bark of a dog who became a mother in a city that had once overlooked its own. And every time she looked at the statue, she remembered that even in the busiest of places, kindness can find a way to bloom, transforming lives, one small, forgotten soul at a time. In this deep, reflective tale, Charlie's journey is not only about rescuing vulnerable kittens but also about igniting a spark of compassion in a sprawling, indifferent city. Her silent courage and tender care remind everyone that sometimes, the simplest acts of love can change the world. Thank you so much for watching the video until the end. If you feel inspired by the story and courage of Charlie, the mother of the abandoned kittens, don't forget to hit like, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support is very important to us and motivates us to continue bringing you meaningful stories like this.